Hey everyone, welcome to another cut of the Power Query Excel dashboard from a website. And my name is Richard Zainat. If you don't know who I am, I just do crazy things in Excel, and I try to teach you how to do it too. I'm a strong believer that you don't have to have the most complex workbooks to have great reporting, and I teach the 4 techniques of how you can create a dashboard going from data in just 30 minutes. Yes, I've taught this to hundreds of people now. It's one of my free courses, and I'll link to a description below. But in this video, I want to show you, give you a sneak preview of my up-and-coming webinar on the 12th of May at 7 p.m. Details also in the link below, wherever you are watching this, on how you can join. If you want to join my Excel Facebook group, where I post not often, but often enough, about different Excel tricks and how I actually do this. Today I wanted to give you a preview of what I actually do in Excel to create this graph. So I'm using Wikipedia as a source. I just want to show you what it looks like. I have another video. I've gotten some feedback on it that says, oh, this looks pretty boring. So yeah, I take it on the chin. And so I made this one. I improved it, and this is what it looks like. So here we go. We've got the nice new Excel graph showing you quite a lot of data. So the stuff on the side here, these are just 2 pivot tables that allow me to display the information. I have to have 2 pivot tables because of the way that the source data is structured, and because I want to keep it simple so that you don't have to overcomplicate it, I needed to create 2 pivot tables just so they report on the same day level, which is the connector here. But this one actually has data that goes down to a province. So here you can see the province data. It's all there for you. So you can select Eastern Cape. You can see what the COVID-19 daily infections are for the province. There's no deaths being reported. And that's because when we go to the source of the information, which is Wikipedia, Wikipedia doesn't have the breakdown. At least the source of Wikipedia that I'm using for this example does not have a breakdown for you at the day level. And so let's just have a look here. Wikipedia, there we go. Let's bring up the site. So this is the site that I'm using. I don't want to necessarily see that image. It's unfortunate that it did that. So what it is this data here. Hopefully you can follow, but you can always slow the thing down. So the it just has the infection rates by province, but it doesn't have the actual deaths or the recoveries per province. I'm sure that data exists somewhere, but for this example we're just going to focus on the Excel graph. So we have that. When we remove the province, it shows us we've got the total daily cases, which is the yellow line. We've got 2 axes, which is, remember, there's 2 data axes. The one is with a high volume count here. It's the same for the graph below, high volume count, and then the lower volume count on another axis. So that's on the side. So we have our daily cases. We have our recovered case, which is the green area here. So we can see as of the 10th or the 9th, we started to see the recoveries coming through. That gives us around about the 2-week period from the first infections. And then we see this number here, the all-important number, the daily new cases. So if we zoom into that, so let's just zoom into that so you can actually see what's going on. So here we can see at the peak just yesterday, I'm shooting this video on the 30th, so on the 29th you see 354. That's the new daily cases that's been recorded. When we look down at this graph here, this graph shows us the number of tests as well as the number of new tests, and so we see that there's some pattern correlation going on here with these 2 graphs, although not 100%. They're not sort of pegged to each other. There's some sort of correlation happening here, especially to the end with these. The peaks and the valleys are almost mirroring each other, just with the different data numbers. So you can see, made this look nice. So I sort of put a population count 54 million according to the last census. The number might be sort of up or down a few million, who knows. Someone can confirm that for me, I'm sure you will. And the total tests 197,000, as we can see in this graph over here. If we go here, 197,000 total tests that was conducted. Let's make sure we get the right 197, 127. That's that number. And then the percentage of the population is 0.365. So for me personally, I think that's a bit of a problem. We're all in agreement that staying home, social distancing is the right thing to do. But that number, I think the test should be higher. That's my personal view. You may think differently, and that's okay. And then we see that 103 deaths, and here the red line is indicating the number of deaths over the course of the coronavirus pandemic, and more specifically here in South Africa, we can see that number just peaking 103 over there. And then here's the pivot tables that support that. And obviously there's data that's behind this, so there's some data that's here, you gotta fit your workbook so that it reports great data. But all the main data comes from Power Query. It's sitting over here. These three queries take care of it. It's actually, this query is the main one that drives everything. We use the other queries sort of to support things, so we don't need VLOOKUPs. And this is the code. This is as easy as it is. These are all point and click, and in the webinar I will go through this to show you exactly what these things are and how it works. So we'll build this report from scratch and work through it to get it to look like this. Now I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions. If you are on my mailing list, then you can as always just reply to me and I'll give you an answer. Maybe we'll jump on a call if the question is interesting enough, or we'll go over it on the webinar itself. So I'm looking forward to running the webinar. It's May the 12th. It's at 7 p.m., which is a Tuesday evening. And I like to do my webinars in the evening so that you are not interrupted with your work day and you can focus on your work, and in the evening you can focus on you and increase your knowledge. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Please sign up, and yeah, let's chat, and I'll see you there. Cheers.